Where is she?
Who?
Leah!
I don't know who that is.
Give me the keys of these locks.
I don't have any keys.
Give me the key to the
I
lock.
don't have a key. I don't know anything.
Give me the key.
I don't have...
And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Perfect Parry podcast. My name is Ryan Seals.
This is Jade.
And I'm Fox.
And we are gathered here today with a very special array of guests, I guess is the technical term.
Breenologists.
Breenologists, yes, let's go with that. Because this is a very special episode, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, who would like to introduce themselves?
This is probably why you should have made it so you just like point at a guest.
Yeah, goddamn it.
I was no selling it. I was just waiting.
Yeah, I was waiting too.
God damn it.
I was waiting to see who would crack
Sacrifice
first.
Dan. Make Dan go
I
first.
hate all y'all. Leaving me out here to die.
Yeah, no. Make Dan go-
BadLad, introduce yourself.
Fuck it. I'm BadLad. Michael, you don't know me, but I probably know you. I know Breen better, though.
Hi, I'm Cvit, or Cvit, whatever you want to call me. I've seen a Neil Breen film once, maybe, but I'm here against my will.
We've kidnapped him.
Hi,
Daniel.
I'm Daniel. Sup?
Sup?
Fucking...
Daniel, what do you do? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do stuff.
It's amazing how no one here apparently has a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, I do that! Oh, shit. Fucking YouTube. Yeah, watch it. Same name. BadLad.
This intro has the same energy as a Breen film.
Dude,
Like, there's a vague idea there, but
I'm
it's
actually
We
like...
found it. We
Just
captured the
walked it out.
zeitgeist.
Dude, I've, sacrificed my microphone for my fucking bit because I got Pepsi on it. I was, too up and ready to fucking crack them.
Yo, fucking commit to the bit, bro.
I gotta commit to the bit. It's Pepsis.
Anyways, we are gathered here today because we decided after that last episode, which was very harrowing and intense and exhausting and all of that shit, that we needed to do something that was just some goddamn fun, some goddamn frivolous fun. And I don't know about y'all, but I genuinely struggle to think of anything that more perfectly encapsulates frivolous fun than sitting down and trying to watch Neil Breen movies.
I like the trying qualifier that you added there.
Oh, you can only do it for so long. You have to check out at some point.
I'm still in a Neil Breen movie.
It just kind of becomes white noise after a bit. Once you're on, the end of the second film, you just stop realizing what's happening.
It just turns into the high-pitched sound from Silent Hill.
Yeah, it's a general malaise.
See, I was gonna go the opposite direction. It's like a stamina bar in Dark Souls. It's like, yeah, you can still try to make an action, but it's gonna be really shitty.
You'll stagger.
You're just gonna do the fat roll.
Yeah, you do a fat roll instead.
You'll begin to lift your arm to make some kind of funny joke, but all that will come out is just... bleh.
Especially if you, start with one of his more, movies, and then you go to one where it's, 90% stock footage, and it's like, oh my god, I just can't focus.
Okay, first off, we're getting mildly ahead of ourselves, because we're assuming right now that everyone knows who Neil Breen is, and I'm sure that most of our audience does, but on the off chance that someone may not, Fox, can you please explain who Neil Breen is?
Neil Breen
Wow, you're just
is
gonna leave it up to him.
a subspecies of human. He's he's the secondary evolution for Pokemon, where there's a split.
I am not of this earth. I am artificial intelligence from far into the future. I have taken on this human body in order to communicate with the humans.
Someone traded him, and then he evolved instead of a level.
Kind of. So I'm kind of picturing it as you've got the Poliwag, and you know how it can evolve into
exactly.
Poliwrath, but it can also turn into Politoed. Neil Breen is that polytoad.
Yeah, so if you give a human like the Water Stone, they turn into Yoko Taro, but if you trade them with a King Rock, then they turn into Neil Breen.
I was gonna say, I think Neil Breen evolves with friendship because the more movies he makes, the more the less human he becomes. Therefore, he's becoming his own creation. If you carry him around with you,
that he fucking digivolves.
Yeah, that actually checks. That scans.
The more you email Neil Breen to people, the stronger he gets.
But in actuality, Neil Breen is a filmmaker, I believe in Nevada, like Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
If my understanding is correct, he's like an architect of some kind that just decided to start making films in 2005 or something. And they are the most bizarre films to try to watch. He's made 5, currently on his 6th. And the best way I can describe them is watching them makes you really appreciate how good Tommy Wiseau was.
Yeah, no. You say that, and people may think you're joking. If they haven't seen these movies, they may think you're joking. But the thing is don't get me wrong, Tommy Wiseau, not a talented filmmaker, not especially a great actor, but watching Neil Breen movies makes you respect the craft in his, because he still has sets, and you believe he's working with a script, and you can tell the actors are there of their own free will.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Mildly, debatably, much
Neil
more
Breen
debatably.
could potentially be a Dadaist expert where he's deconstructing what makes a movie.
I think it's the idea that I never watched The Room or Birdemic and had a split second where I had to think, is that actress trying to call for help with her eyes? That is the feeling when you watch a Neil Breen movie is
I don't know. I've watched The Shining.
Shit.
I think Neil's got it better for torturing actresses than fucking, because at least no actress had to touch Stanley Kubrick's balls that we know of.
That's actually fair. That's fair.
Yeah, at least Tommy Wiseau had enough dignity. Actually, no, he didn't wear the sock. He refused.
He didn't. He refused the cock sock.
Yeah, and so did Neil Breen, because you can
Neil
see
Breen
him
couldn't
just
afford it.
dangling.
His fucking balls are out.
We are only 5 minutes into the podcast, and we're already bringing up the ball sack.
It's
I mean,
the
you
most
can't.
important thing.
It's just
It's the most important part of Double Down. It's not even fair.
There's nothing else in that movie other than Neil Breen balls. That's
No, there's tuna. There's tuna.
There's tuna and there's running down the cliff.
That's true.
Okay, for context,
And shouting, "Where are you?"
for context,
And turning invisible.
over the last week or so in 2 sittings, we've watched Fatal Findings, Pass Through, Twisted Pair, and ended on Double Down. And all of us have watched Neil Breen movies before, except Daniel. This is actually his first time watching any of them.
Yes.
So we brought
Yeah.
someone in that literally first experience, popped their Breen cherry, as you will. For
Which
lack
is
of
a very
better
roundabout
word.
way of saying we found a legal way to torture another human
He
being.
literally got
That's how it
Shanghai.
felt. Can I just say that I was astonished when we were watching it, the second batch of films, because I came in drunk, and the films sobered me up. I couldn't believe what was happening. That it was like the alcohol was vanishing from my system and was being replaced by Neil Breen.
Yeah, no, Breen will sober you up very quickly if you're not prepared for it. You have to compensate.
I was not prepared.
I said it during the watch. It will sober you up if you're coming in drunk and not drinking. But Ryan, during his birthday, I think a year ago, we were watching Twisted Pair, and they got twice as drunk watching it. So if you're continuing to drink, it'll double the effect.
Oh yeah, no, it will just absolutely ether you.
So if you try to do a preemptive attack, it gets nullified,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's funny because both of the times it was with Twisted Pair.
That's amazing.
All right, so for anyone who may not know, here's the thing that's fascinating about Neil Breen's filmography, is his movies exist on kind of a gradient. And on one side of that gradient, you have things that are actual movies. Things that, like, if I were, like, we could sit down and describe what happens in them. And it would sound bad, but you'd be like, yeah, no, that sounds like a movie. That sounds like all
There's
of the...
a point A and a point B.
Exactly. Like, that you can recognize the plot structure that's there, even if it's just eating shit every step of the way.
There's a baseline.
Exactly. It's meant for human consumption. On the complete opposite end of that gradient, you have these fucking megalomaniacal fever dreams where Neil Breen props himself up as literally God.
Yeah.
I mean, most of his movies end with him having deific powers.
I was gonna say, like, you qualify it in that sense, but you can't really say, oh, some of his movies he acts like a god, because that's every one of his movies. It's just varying levels of how much do I understand that you're God. Because, like, you talk about this gradient, but it's literally he made one movie that I can accurately tell you what happened in it, and then he kind of just fades away, but it doesn't happen linearly. It happens, like, here in 2007, then in 2014, and then back in 2009. It doesn't make any sense.
I Am Here Now is a bit more coherent. We didn't watch that one, but it's a bit more coherent.
You're full of shit.
I
You're
was
absolutely
able,
full of
I
shit.
was able to describe.
He can't even tell you what happened in that movie. You ask him what happened with the baby heads, he fucking looks at you.
I'm not
and just
saying
tries to tell
everything's
you, oh, it's up to your own interpretation.
it's almost as coherent as Fateful Findings.
Now, I may
Almost.
be cheating because I'm a homestuck and I can literally decipher any plot.
I'm
No.
not.
I
No.
can decipher any plot that happens. I was able to decipher what happens in Twisted Pair. But
This was not.
Jade
this
has
is
hidden
not
tech.
my
Okay.
podcast, and I have no right.
This is lies.
I have no right to tell you how to run it. But please, for the love of God, do not.
Let's walk this back a bit. Let's walk this back a bit so that we can establish a baseline. Because, again, there are people watching and listening to this who may not have seen these themselves yet, or for all we know, even seen like the many, many very good reviews of them on YouTube. So, to that end, Daniel,
Yes.
can you describe to us the plot of Fateful Findings? This is the easiest one I can handle.
you're really gonna do him like that.
Okay.
You're playing
All right.
T-ball right now, son.
Pressure's on. So Neil Breen, it starts off with him as a child, and he's hanging out with this girl, and they come to a mushroom that disappears, and there's like a little treasure box thing. I don't know what any of that is supposed to mean, but
They found some sweet loot.
It's a visual metaphor.
They found
Probably.
Yeah,
some
it's a metaphor.
D&D dice.
But
Off of Etsy.
the narrative
Yes.
significance of that scene, though, is to establish that Neil Breen has this connection with this girl who comes back in the film later. But
It was a beautiful day.
It was
Yes.
No, it was a magical
can I
day,
ask you
you
a question?
fucking
What kind of
idiot.
day?
magical.
Yeah, what
Oh,
kind of
shit,
day?
that's right.
It was
Fuck.
magical. It was a magical day.
Fake
It was
Breen
great.
fan, get out of here.
You motherfucker.
Fuck up.
Why is he even here?
So after that, it flashes forwards to the present, and then Neil Breen gets hit by a car. And then after that, the rest of the movie happens. I guess he gets out of the hospital for some reason. He's okay. He's fine. Whatever. That shit doesn't matter
He
now.
got 3 doses of oxygen into his skin. Like, he's a super
I have a
being now.
question. Teacher, hands raised.
What's
This
up?
one's for Daniel. How much Breen ass did we see?
Too much.
All of it. I needed more.
This is what I love about asking people to describe the plot of Breen movies, because it always starts relatively coherent, but then it like always just like a roller coaster just barrels downhill,
Like-
and becomes more and more unhinged. It's unavoidable. It's not just you. It happens literally every time. It's fucking impossible to not have that.
Because there's no way to like just summarize, oh, what's this movie about? It's not possible. Like,
So I'm going to slightly challenge that, but also something I noticed upon rewatch that I forgot about, that the movie never attempts to address, and it might just be this is another blonde that Neil Breen deceived, but I'm pretty sure the girl, like the older version of the girl he knew, she's like a nurse in the hospital, air quotes, that he's in, the hospital with like rugs on the floor because it's in his house.
Yeah, no, she's a
But I'm
doctor.
pretty sure she's his
forgot.
nurse,
I hate that.
and it's never addressed because she comes
Yeah,
back.
she checks his pulse.
like, yeah, she comes back half an hour later into the movie, and they meet at like a pool party. And the reason he knows that's his old friend who moved away is that she happens to have the notebook that they wrote. It's a magical day.
And then
in.
she drops it, and it lands on that exact page.
And there's no other writing in that book. Like, there's nothing on the page before it, and for all we know, there's nothing on the page after it. And like an asshole, she wrote outside the lines, took up like all the middle of that page. You can't use that for anything.
And then Neil has like the most heartfelt reunion with her humanly possible.
A lot of hand holding,
A lot of hand.
very intense hand play.
That's a fucking liberal use of the word human.
If you were to cultivate a porno for Horikoshi, Kohei Horikoshi, that hand-holding scene between Neil Breen and the leading lady would be what you would get.
I hate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, Ryan isn't wrong. Fateful Findings is the actual most coherent Breen film in terms of trying to follow an actual coherent plot, because the running plot is that Neil Breen, I don't think we ever get his fucking character's name, so it's just Neil.
No,
just
no,
Neil.
we do.
No, we do.
I just
David
can't remember.
in that one?
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't
His
remember
name is
his
Neil
name
Breen.
in any of the films outside
His name is
of
I
only
remember
ever Neil Breen.
In Twisted
outside
Pair,
of
his
Twisted
name is
Pair,
Cale and
where his
Cade.
name's Cade.
So
It's
Cale and Cade in Twisted
interesting.
Pair,
In Pass Through, his name is Light backwards.
Your name, Till. That isn't your name. That's Light. Light. Spelled backwards. Isn't it?
God fucking. If he got it from Light Yogurt, I'm not over that. Holy shit. That
It's
sounds
interesting that, like, if for some people, I know there's, like, the Death Stranding thing where, oh, his name's not Sam Bridges, he's Norman Reedus, because that's all I can see him as. And it's not like I'm actively not trying to remember his name from fucking any of the movies he's in. It's just that Neil Breen writes the same character in every movie, and it is just himself.
Yeah, there's never a coherent
It's the
characterization.
same character. Right, it was Dylan.
that's true.
Right.
His name's Dylan?
Yeah, in Fateful Findings, his name is Dylan.
What a fucking dweeb.
Okay, so to continue my thought, Dylan, the ongoing narrative for Fateful Findings is that he is hacking the government to unlock all the corrupt secrets that the government and the military and the banks,
Everyone,
the evil
just
banks.
everyone with power.
Why do you sound like you're in so much pain?
Because this is what remembering a Neil Breen movie does to you. Your mind rejects it. It does not want to retain these facts, and you are forcing it against its will to hold
But-
on to Breen.
Fox, I have to interrupt you for a second. He doesn't want to take down the banks. He just wants to take down the bank. And
The
president
bank.
of the bank.
Well,
It's
yeah, that's
the
why I
bank.
corrected myself. The bank.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, there's just one centralized bank. Remember.
And you have to remember that he has hacked more than any other hacker in the history of hacking.
Oh, he has hacked so much.
See,
he's
you're
got
already
4
remembering
laptops.
lines.
He has so many fucking laptops.
He needs all of them to retain
Yeah,
all
and
that
to
info.
hack, he needs to have like 5 laptops.
Do you think he went to his like local community college and rented those out from like the library to get them?
No, because he destroys them. He definitely got them off of Craigslist. They're all broken. He was able to get like 5 of them for $100. That's almost definitely it.
I don't even think that. I think those laptops are from like 1995. He got those for like $5.
You don't have
people
to
will
pay the
pay.
dumpster, you know.
People will pay what things are being sold for if they're in need. I know this because I paid like $60 for shitty broken CRT monitors.
I don't know. Neil
because I
Breen is a
needed set
very
dressing.
economic filmmaker.
He spent all the budget on stock footage.
That's entirely possible. That because like he really does love to cut a lot of corners, and he is very
he knows how to
talented at
stretch a budget.
He'll reuse shots. He'll use stock footage.
You guys
he'll
remember
use...
how he just reused like the same fucking location for a movie he made 10 years after like Double Down?
Oh, he does that like he does. There's a shared Breen cinematic universe. Like
like isn't the same car in Fateful Findings that the guy kills himself on in fucking
It's in Double Down.
No, it's in Double Down.
It's in Double Down. That's it.
He rents it in Double Down. He also what was it? There's a field in Double Down that gets reused as the field with all of the bodies that litter the ground.
And they have the line fade as they disappear.
His fucking literal killing field.
The same like 5 bodies repeated over and over.
He literally used the fucking Harry Potter like poop magic spell and fucking disappeared them.
These films are such stream of consciousness that they feel like they bleed into themselves. And you could just like go back and forth between these films, and it will sound like you're talking about the same movie, but you're actually talking about 3 different ones at the same time.
Because they all share the exact same issues.
For the love of God, do not call them films.
I'm sorry, they are cinematic experiences.
They're experiences.
Like you joke, but
cinematic.
something like Twisted Pair, like. That movie is so fucking abstracted and plotless and meandering that I genuinely find it more comparable to something like Koyana Nisquati than like fucking any traditional movie. It's more like a goddamn tone poem than it is any kind of traditional film.
Okay, but like at the end of that watch through, I actually described the plot of Twisted Pair. So I think perhaps you just don't understand the art.
I can describe the plot for Waiting for Godot. That's not the same thing as getting it, though.
No, here's the thing. Fucking you explained the plot, but you were still 100% full of shit.
Yeah, just going on a mad rant.
I want to see you do better.
No, Jade, explain the plot again.
Okay, so the plot of Twisted Pair is Neil Breen plays 2 people, the twins Kale and Cade. Cade is the good one, I think. But what's important is that when they're children, they're kidnapped. And they get these cybernetic AI implants that essentially turn them
they get
into
taken and put
superhumans.
into the S3 program by the Patriots.
They work for the government.
God damn it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they get taken by the Patriots. But then, evil Breen...
How do you describe the fairy forest, though?
I'll get to the fairies.
Oh, and the
So-
fairy,
No, that's
and
like
the
the
fairy
first
with the
thing.
gangster.
I can tell you how my self-insert in Neil Breen works.
Good
okay?
luck.
So, Cade and Kale, right? So, the evil one, Evil Breen, he breaks off from the government because apparently he just really fucking sucks. And he becomes kind of like...
No, he likes math.
So Evil Breen is like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, and he leaves, and he becomes the evil twin, and he kills bad politicians in kind of that Jason Todd way, but he's also, he Red Hoods, but he's also a drug addict with a drug addict, girlfriend. Meanwhile, the good guy twin has, like, a weird BDSM girlfriend.
The role play, I'm gonna stalk you and assault you.
Oh, yeah, the role... Fuck!
Over the course of, like, 6 hours, and I'm gonna use this homeless guy to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you,
In the
Jay,
most
because, like, I
baffling
realized
scene
something
in
watching
cinema
that, because I
history.
completely forgot that bit. So anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, in the early, like, hour of Fateful Findings, there's a moment where the good Neil Breen,
it's
Cade,
Twisted Pair, not Faithful Findings.
is walking outside of a community college, and in front of a homeless person, he bumps into this woman with papers who drops them all over the place. And they would have a meet cute, except when he's like helping her pick up the papers, he's like, "Oh, let me help you. Hey, you want to go for coffee?" And she's like, "No, get away from me, you crazy madman!" And she's like hitting him.
He just
to
acts
get
like
away.
the biggest fucking weirdo, though.
And
I do not blame her.
And as she's angrily stopping away, he's like, "Okay, so I'll see you here at 8." I'll see you here in like 2 hours. Bye. And then he tosses the homeless guy like a quarter, walks away, comes back seemingly 2 hours later, or however long, like 8 o'clock was, comes back, looks around, goes, oh, I guess she isn't coming, tosses the homeless guy another quarter, walks away, and then proceeds to go to her house, starts to have a fight with her where she takes a painting, a framed painting, and smashes it over his head.
On the couch.
And then they start to have actual intercourse because they're actually dating.
Yeah, this is just what they do. And it cannot help but leave you with just an endless array of different questions.
It makes you really question if they needed that homeless guy to be a part of their weird thing.
Yeah. Like how involved is this? At what did this begin before that? Are we only seeing one piece of their mating dance? I need to know more, Neil.
They also hired the homeless guy, which is why he had fake rats with him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he has fake rubber rats.
Fake rats! I forgot about the fake rats!
They're the fucking best.
Forgot.
I do want to bring up about the restaurant / government agency / community college that this entire movie is filmed on. It's all at night, all the time, because I'm thoroughly convinced Neil Breen works there during the day as a janitor and does not want to get in trouble.
No, he went to the college and was very nice, very cordial, gave them
professional.
A very professional, very, very professional. Paid them well to use their facilities, and then they did their best to just completely ignore everything he was doing.
I have a question. Why was he not able to log on to the computer?
Because he didn't have a student ID.
Furthermore, why could he not?
Because he's not a student. They're like,
He's not a student.
You can use our facilities, but the computers are only for students.
Okay.
Fucking Neil.
So, the rest of the plot, right? And I'm getting to the ferry.
Okay.
So, the thing is that good Breen works for good government people, Agent Spy, and he's trying to stop Jeff Bezos from...
Elton Jeff Bezos.
I'm just gonna call him Elton Bezos. So he's trying to stop Elton Bezos from utilizing this AI virtual reality to create a wide-scale terrorist attack. Now, this realm of virtual reality looks like a Lisa Frank, like, beautiful forest, and it kind of works the same way the AI universe in Sword Art Online Alicization works, where it's, like, ground up. It's magical and it's beautiful, and that is where my character comes in, the beautiful fairy of the digital world.
Okay.
The fairy Digimon.
but you've explained all of that, and I'm not necessarily going to push back against any of it. But you've yet to explain what the fuck the point of his bowl of diamonds that he carries around at all times.
He's
if
very
you were
rich.
an evil mastermind who had, like, an evil terrorist plan that had to do with virtual reality, would you not have a bowl of diamonds?
I'd carry a tablet.
Ryan, if you were rich, you would understand. You're just too poor to understand.
You also didn't mention that he sounds like he also sounds like Thanos.
It's swarm intelligence.
Does he even wear Yeezys?
Okay, Jade,
got a
I
pink
actually have an
scarf.
actual roadblock for you, and it kind of ties back to what we were saying about how these films kind of blend together because there's also some repeat footage. The scene where there's the mirror, the shaking mirror from Fateful Findings.
Fateful Findings?
Where Neil Breen is standing in front of it, and he does the visual effect of him walking away, but, like, his reflection is still there. Except in Twisted Pair, it's his twin with the beard. Which is like, okay, that's a weird visual metaphor. But then the glass shatters, implying that his twin is a mirror image of himself. Like, it's his evil mirror twin from the alternate dimension.
I can explain.
So
I'd love to see you fucking try.
Look, it's his Echo Fighter, okay?
So, we see at the end of Twisted Pair that after the death of his double agent betrayer wife, BDSM wife, Cade goes back. He returns to the digital AI universe.
The Digiworld. Just say Digiworld.
Yeah,
the Digiworld.
He goes to the
I think that's
Digiverse. So he goes to the Digiverse where he sees her. And she's all like, oh, I love you forever, and I'm totally not dead. I'm here. So what I think this is that what we're seeing throughout this movie are pieces of his psyche breaking as he, like, is tormented
you are
by
making
his
up some
circumstances,
nonsense.
slowly
Reaching
succumbing
so hard.
to his desire
You are fucking going
to
the
live
distance.
in the digital world.
Jade,
Jay,
I just
even I
want to ask a
think
question.
this is a stretch.
What does Jeff Bezos sound like in this movie?
Yeah, why does Jeff Bezos sound like that in this movie?
he doesn't want to be
Oh,
recognized.
because
I
you got a
can't
Batman
explain that. I can't explain.
The actor didn't want to be recognized.
I have something. Okay, Jade, really good job summing up the plot. Wonderful, but honest to God, all of us will only remember Twisted Pair for one thing. Can we please talk about
What about the mustache?
for the mustache and the beard? Just like, mwah. Oh my God.
I don't know. I
And
think
the
the
torture
other
chamber.
guy's mustache is way better because they don't even try to hide like the tape
torture
or the
chamber man.
because like it's like at least Neil Breen's like it like you just see it on like the sides, like just right on the edges. The fucking government guys, it literally looks like he has like a strip of tape across his entire face, and then the mustache is just sitting over what it covers, and like the rest is just coming out of the sides.
Like, Twisted Pair is a fucking horrific movie, and it's just so dense and doesn't make any sense. But it probably has my favorite shot in a Breen movie, which is the one he reuses like twice, where it's just the two Breens standing on the opposite sides of the screen. He just puts his hand up and like hover hands his twin brother. It's the fucking greatest shot.
What about the eagle? Astro Eagle. Come on.
Yeah,
I love Astro Eagle.
Give a
Don't ever
kiss
talk
to
shit
that
where he-
eagle.
You mean the Astro Eagle that plays Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah.
The genuine
Breen
confusion
has
of like
listed
they
in the
named him
credits.
Astro Eagle, and it's like, wait, they're on the opposite sides. That that eagle is actually named Astro.
Secretly.
You know, I'm honestly really happy that Neil took that extra step, because Eagles have been like starring in movies for a long time, but they never get properly credited. And Neil, if you're listening to this, I sincerely appreciate that you went above and beyond. You didn't have to do that, but the Eagle community is very
Ryan,
supportive of
we
you.
all
And-
know that
so
Breen
much.
credits every single person for every single role, especially
Oh,
Neil Breen.
even when they're not
including
there.
for roles that no one did anything in.
Yeah. Also, I want to go back on that eagle because I think he credited the eagle because he tried to tongue fuck it whenever it was on screen.
Yeah, he was giving it some bedroom eyes. It was a little uncomfortable.
He was really giving it fuck me eyes.
Which does
Being
he have a
dragged
stronger
away.
relationship, that eagle or the tiger?
Tiger.
The tiger and
Tiger,
Pass-Through?
no, the
Okay.
Definitely the tiger. The tiger got way more screen time.
I like that,
was favoritism.
we tried to come into this and like almost game plan to go, okay, what are we gonna talk about? And we you literally can't have like a set structure when it comes to Neil Breen movies, especially when you watch them in like a marathon, because you're just gonna bring up the other movies to cross reference them because they're all the fucking same.
It's just a tangled web of fucking nonsense that you just need to untangle one after the other, and it's fucking impossible because they're all fucking fever dreams. You know, it's genuinely like trying to remember like 3 different dreams you had last week and which one was which.
Speaking of shots, speaking of amazing shots, my favorite is still the one in Fateful Findings when he goes to see his first psychiatrist. And you get that get almost the idea of a decent filmmaker shot of him sitting at one end of this really long table, and it's just Breen, and then it pans across, and you get like 5 seconds of nothing between like just wall and table, and then it just cuts to the other side halfway through, and it's like, okay, I guess he just gave up on that. And then later on in the film, you get the second. Like, you get a second third of that same shot where it starts right in the middle and continues on, but it doesn't complete, and then you get the completion of it later in the film. You're getting it, like, piecemealed out.
No, he doesn't complete it.
No, you can
doesn't.
genuinely tell. You can genuinely tell that what he did is he took the complete clip, that whole shot that he did in real life. He dropped it in his timeline. He cut it in the places where he needed it to end for those specific sections, and then dragged the remainder of the clip way further in the timeline, and then backfilled it as
Oh, yeah,
needed. You know what I
100%.
mean?
I think I might be remembering this wrong, but I don't think he ever completed the shot. I think he only did it twice.
I could be
Yeah,
wrong. I remember
that's how I
thinking, I was like,
remember it.
did we get a third one? I think we did, but I know we also just got a shot of the, like, psychiatrist on that one end that looks like it would be at the
Yeah.
end of that, like, shot.
An innovator, breaking rules, establishing
Neil
new
Breen,
ground.
As a director, Neil Breen literally just makes non-Euclidean films.
I was saying he experiences time like the aliens in Arrival.
Exactly.
Like, imagine all of his movies are like if somebody wrote a Metal Gear fanfic, but the author is like a fucking 50-year-old man with male pattern baldness.
But that idea of Neil Breen not experiencing time like we humans do makes a lot of sense, because I think Ryan has brought up the point before that there is like the theory of like artistic evolution, like the more you make whatever you make, you'll just naturally get better at it. He doesn't.
No.
Fateful Findings is his best movie. He's been on a decline ever since.
Yeah, no, because Fateful Findings, like we said at the beginning of all of this, that is almost a movie. It's almost like a coherent film. But then, like, in between, on both sides of it, you have, like, Double Down, which is just fucking incoherent. It's an absolutely gibbering mess of a film, and I love it so much, but it's a complete fucking incomprehensible disaster.
The graveness in your voice.
And on the other side, you have fucking Twisted Pair, which we just ran through. And yeah, no, that movie is just as fucking unhinged, maybe even more. Because, like, with Double Down, you can tell he was genuinely investing in that movie. Like, that shit's shot on film stock. He got, like, over half of it is stock footage, but it's not cheap stock footage. Like, it's clearly, like, you know, high quality film grain stock footage. Wasn't just fucking pulled off of YouTube free stock footage. Like,
yeah, it's not like
channels.
him shooting on digital and then using stock footage of like the Mars landing and fucking NASA from 1980.
Yeah, like using just the most generic cheap stock footage you can find because the budget is now like $5,000.
He also, like, his acting is terrible, but he was trying for the most part in Faithful Findings. By Double Down and Twisted Pair, he's just like he's like a fucking zombie.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just
he
walking.
sounds like he's kind of drunk in I think it was Twisted Pair. Like, he actually sounds like he's
Who
slurring his
am
words
I?
in some of those takes.
What am I?
Remember when he almost hyper combos that girl when he's walking her down the mountain in Double Down? He almost like literally Bane backbreakers her.
I also love how Double Down looks like a 1980s VHS
Yeah,
film.
I was saying that at the start.
Fucking
Yeah, yeah.
2005.
But it was filmed in like 2005.
Because it was definitely shot on like an old film camera that he got, and he was like, this is professional. This is a cinema quality film camera. Never mind the fact that it was like last used to shoot Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Okay, I was gonna say, watching Neil Breen films and watching them like evolve but not really is like watching an example of the Dunning-Kruger effect, except they never come off that like first initial peak.
You see,
Like,
that's
they just
it.
continue into the stratosphere because Breen's confidence is fucking like peak.
I wish
like,
I had
he
this man's
so
confidence.
much faith in these movies. Like, these are not midnight movies. Like, and I send these movies
not
to
cult
theaters
films.
and they don't even ask for screeners. They have 100% confidence in my movies, and like, no question about them, but they're not improving.
That's why I don't think he's like stopped trying to act or anything like that. I still think he's giving as much effort as he's ever given in both Pass Through and Twisted Pair. I think though that he thinks that he has mastered the art of acting to such an extent that he doesn't even need to put in the amount of effort that he was putting in before, because he's got this down now. That's why the only actor he's able to play opposite of anymore is himself.
And women he has like taken hostage to be in his movies.
And women he has taken
There are
hostage.
so many times like throughout his movies where the Neil Breen girl of the night just will kind of stare, and you can like see the dreams of like SAG membership just fade away.
Fuck.
The dreams of being a real actress.
Yeah, it's like, oh no.
Okay,
I
that one
doomed
kind of hurts. That
myself.
one's a bit too real.
It's like
I
that
think
one
it's-
actress who was on Star Trek and then she left in like
Oh,
the first
shit.
season and then was only in fucking canon films after it.
Oh yeah.
While all the other women stayed and became like very successful actresses after the
An
fact.
agent steered her wrong.
I just wonder if to be a woman in a Neil Breen film, it's like you get on set and it's like, okay, get that bra off right
because
now.
no woman in a Neil Breen movie has ever worn a bra. I don't even know if I'm exaggerating. Jade, am I exaggerating?
No.
I don't think
Why
you
are
are.
their titties hanging out?
I didn't even think the old lady who crossfades out
Yeah.
in Fateful Findings
Like-
was wearing a bra.
or that one lady in that like
Grandma, no.
that grandma in Double Down who like takes her top off on the Las Vegas Strip to distract that one guy while Neil Breen stabs him with a syringe.
Oh fuck! I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, remember? Just some random
damn
old
it.
lady in a red dress just starts fucking taking her top off.
We shit on Double Down, but I think that's just because we were so like burned out and like smooth brain by the time we got to that point. Like, but that movie genuinely has just as much wild shit as any of the rest of these. Fucking.
I don't even know entirely if it was us. I think it was partially us being a little bit like tired out because we paired it with Twisted Pair, and that one's like
Exhausting.
absolutely
No, that was
bonkers from,
honestly
like,
the
start
worst
to finish.
combo we could have done in
But
hindsight.
Twisted Pair has like so much downtime that's like doing nothing, where it's just okay, stock footage of the Hoover Dam, stock footage of scientists doing something, and it's scientists doing something without Neil Breen in it.
Yeah.
Like that's something Neil Breen learned is like, okay, I can have stock footage, but I have to
Yeah,
be
so
in
when
it.
Twisted Pair came around, he's like badly chroma keyed in behind the overlay next to a scientist with like a hologram business card sized whatever the fuck it
There-
is,
when
just
there's-
looking at meters go up and down.
Sorry to cut you off, but
it's so
there's that
fucking-
shot where it's him in like a science lab or something, and there's like a Minority Report like digital screen in front of like another scientist next to him, and he's kind of off to the side of it, and he puts his hand up to like touch something, but it's like just off of the screen. And it's like, is he like comparing his hand to this image of a heart? Oh, Neil Breen never
I
changed.
think it was a. So I think it was a movie passed through, but there was like an extended scene that was all on green screen where he's in like this house and he's talking to these people.
That was passed through.
That's
and-
passed through. That's passed through.
Isn't it corrupt?
Who's so fucking bad.
Isn't it
corrupt?
corrupt?
I have a question.
Isn't that deceiving?
Isn't
the
that
public?
immoral?
I know companies that can hack into any government, national agency, or corporate facility. For the right price, you can get any information that you want. And they don't need to know why or your reason. These places are so vulnerable and unprotected. And there is no way they can keep up with the technology.
Isn't that corrupt?
I was gonna say the best green screen that he ever does is in Twisted Pair, where he just has stock footage of like army men moving through a bombed out building, but he like hyper jumps up to it and he like slurps up.
No, he Hulk jumps up to the top floor where they are. He walks in after activating the world where they're frozen in time because it's stock footage that's like frozen. He looks back at them and goes, "Okay, guys, follow me." And then he walks off, and then it unpauses and they proceed to run.
Each Breen movie is Neil Breen learning a new effect in Premiere.
Remember when he fucking violates that like gas plant? And he's just like running around like on the wall or some shit.
As he's crouch watching, like
Each movie is Neil Breen learning a new effect. Twisted
Yeah.
Pair was where he learned how to freeze frame. So he's like, oh, I don't have to loop the stock footage. I can stop the stock footage.
What technique is he going to learn next?
He tried the Dutch angle,
He-
also in Twisted Pair, but failed because it wasn't framed right, and you just looked at the wall.
At this point, I
while it
don't
was-
think he's ever going to do angles, because you can't do angles well if you're in front of a green screen and you're not good at rendering 3D environments, which he is not.
No, it was the one
I
where he's trying to go
figured it
down the
out.
stairs at night when he was breaking into that lady's house.
Oh, right.
Before it was revealed that it was the girlfriend.
Oh, right.
Did someone
the
take
one
away
almost
his-
good shot?
Did someone take away his drone from Pass Through?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
He
there was
definitely
no
broke it.
Nevada
drone
State
in Fateful
government.
Finding, or there was no drone in
After-
Twisted Pair.
After his rant in Pass Through, the Nevada State fucking government took his shit away, and he had to start from scratch.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, when was it that they made drone drivers in certain states, and I think in Canada, you need to have a license?
That's right. That was like 2018. So that would have been right after. That would have been right around the time I think he would have been filming.
But he would have gone
There's
through
no
that
way
effort.
that he's
He
gonna get a
definitely would have
license.
gone through that effort if like that was an obstacle. 'Cause he is many things, but lazy is not one of them.
Yeah, but what if they denied him?
He did threaten to kill like 6 million people.
He did use the drone to make a manifesto. Yes.
Yeah, we do have to talk at least a little bit about his manifesto at the end of Pass Through.
Before that, I do want to submit a theory as to what he'll learn next. My answer: one take. He's gonna do the whole movie in one
fuck
take
no.
next.
No.
He's going to release his Birdman.
That's peak Breen. Oh my god.
He saw one cut of the dead, and he's like, I can do better than that.
He's going to try and do it one take, and he thinks it's going to look like Birdman. What it's actually going to be like is, remember the final chase scene at the end of The Incredible Bulk?
Oh my god.
It's going to be that, but for like the whole movie.
No.
And you know I'm right.
You are. But fuck, he really did go on that manifesto.
Fucking okay. What was his manifesto? Does anyone remember? I'm going to drop it. Like,
remember.
please deliver us his manifesto. I remember parts of
I
it.
can't give it to you word for word, but it's like, it's basically Neil Breen believes that if you're evil, you don't deserve to live, and the one who should bring justice down upon you is Neil Breen.
Okay, but how does he define evil? Do you remember that at all?
Whatever, it's basically if you are a part of any major government faction. So I assume it's like, if you're a politician, if you're like someone who works in the banks, if you're a post office worker, if you're just anything that has any like semblance to like the national government, he hates you. If you deceive people, he hates you. If you think a bad thought or try to hurt someone, he hates you, which doesn't make sense because after he eradicates all the evil people in the world, there's still like one douchebag who chases them into a mine.
Do you remember?
What the fuck?
Do you remember that part of the list of reasons he might hate you is that if you buy into political correctness?
I was gonna say he
Yeah.
definitely makes
That-
a point of being like,
No,
political
that was
correctness.
He explicitly singles that out as being just as bad as, like, I think, bigotry and crime.
The glorification of violence and corruption, as well as political correctness and the fear of the truth, has ruined the human species.
Which brings like up a very interesting question, especially in his more recent movies. He's been really political, but I still don't know what he actually believes.
He
And I
believes in
talked
Neil
about
Breen.
to, like,
No.
Here's my thesis.
Okay.
In his eyes, this isn't political. It's like those people who are like, political games, not political games. Metal Gear is not a political game.
Yeah. He
Neil
just
Breen
thinks this is common
Neil Breen
sense.
movies are not political movies.
Yeah,
I'd
because he's
like-
saying war bad, government
I'd
bad.
like to think that his political stance is the same as, like, just pick any one of J-Reg's characters out from a hat, and you're bound to pick out. You're bound to grab a Neil Breen at some point.
That feels right.
I was gonna say, like, I've made jokes about it before of like crypto theocracy, because that's kind of what I'm getting at. But he doesn't believe in like a Judeo-Christian.
I would
God
say
or
Yes, he
anything.
does.
Crypto-
He believes in
crypto
himself.
anarchy.
He thinks he's
He's God.
God.
He believes in himself.
Yeah, he is God.
No, I'd say crypto anarchy. He wants to take down every form of like government.
No,
and, like,
because he still
law
thinks there should be
control.
a central power adjudicating over everyone, and it should be
And
him.
it should be Breen.
It should be Breen.
It should be Breen, as it should.
Well, I guess this would be like
He's just like Yakumi from
it's
Death
like
Note.
an autocratic,
Yes.
like theistic fascist, something like that.
It's the thing of like, I want to say nationalism, but he doesn't believe in a nation. He believes in Breen. So
that would count as fascism.
I would follow Breenism.
Yeah, I guess.
In the
I would
same
too,
way,
actually.
like Mussolini said that the definition of fascism was him. In that same vein, Neil Breen, I think, would also fit that mold.
I think he is beyond our understanding. Us mere mortals, we can't possibly try to comprehend his line of thinking, and to do so
It's like trying to
is
understand
just
the Reapers
folly.
in Mass Effect.
I think Ryan said it best, where you compared Neil Breen to the moon presence.
Yeah, that bingo.
He
There we go.
basically is.
You aren't meant to understand. You are just meant to submit because you are lesser.
See,
You have to have 3 pieces of umbilical cord that you consume.
my running theory
And then you can face him.
about why Jade understands, or at least claims to understand, Twisted Pair is they had a nightmare and they woke up in the hunter's dream and they met Breen, the hunter's Breen.
And he's in a fucking wheelchair with a cane.
That is correct.
And one of the many blonde women that have touched his balls are the fucking doll.
Yeah, but it's okay because eventually he stands up out of the wheelchair, just like the one he gives youth back to in which one?
You're thinking of I Am Here Now.
Okay, so
Oh my God.
He gives
Yeah, we haven't
youth
even gotten to
back
that film
to
yet.
an
You're
old
spoiling.
man in a wheelchair in one of his movies, and that was what that dream was like. I approached him, and he raised from the wheelchair, clad in Judeo, like in freaking robes, stitched with gold, and he said, "Come to me, my child." I
Dude, remember
bestow
that
my
bullshit
gift.
ass motherfucker grandpa in Pass Through who loved space and made those kids push him around in a wheelchair in the middle of the fucking Nevada desert and carries oxygen tank, even though he could clearly walk very well? What a douche.
Do you think Neil Breen brings like drinks for his film crew? Like film crew and
No.
clothes.
Yeah, no, I
when
think he
goes out
does.
to
I think he
Breen
does
craft
because it's
service?
professional, and he credited craft services.
He
Yeah, I was
credited
gonna say
himself.
he has a dedicated.
Yeah, no,
craft
he credited
service.
himself because he brought craft services. He earned that
He
credit.
brought turkey
He made the
sandwiches.
he
But
made
did
all
he,
the
or did he
PB&J
just be like-
sandwiches.
I was
Be a
gonna
little
say,
bit more
I
classy
imagine
about
when it's the idea of like, oh, how does Neil Breen hydrate his staff? It's the I want something warm to drink, I have to pee, we both have something to gain here situation. He
Also,
believes
he
himself
wouldn't
as such
do
a god. He's
PB&J.
like, take a part of me, child. Just pisses in him.
He would do Uncrustables.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
no, he do tuna, you idiots.
Shit,
Neil
you're
Breen
right.
pissed on my tuna
Shit,
sandwich.
you're right.
He'll wring out the tuna like a towel, and you could drink the tuna drink.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you stay hydrated.
Just
Oh,
shotgun
God.
tuna cans.
God, Jade, just fucking imagine. Just imagine showing up on a set and like the director there is like hands you your lines. You see it, it's a Breen script, and you start to rehearse your lines. They're wrapping up their part of the shoot, and it gets to lunchtime, and you go over to the craft services table, and it's literally nothing but cans of tuna.
I would cry.
Yeah, that adds up.
Okay, so here's the other question. I actually just forgot it. Shit.
Brain fart. I feel that.
Oh.
I empathize.
You might even call that a Breen fart.
No.
He's on it.
Daniel,
Daniel's
Oh, now I
you're
remember, now I
trying so
remember.
hard to
Okay.
recapture Breen screen.
Okay, so here's the question.
Here are the questions.
Does he format his scripts like actual Hollywood scripts, or are they just like MLA format?
MLA on Google Docs. Here you go.
No,
email
he's
to you.
In Comic Sans.
This is before Google Docs. He does not know about Google Docs.
Fine.
He types his shit out in Excel and prints it out somehow.
He's on fucking Notepad. Ain't got the time to pay for fucking Word. Fuck that.
Are we saying that Neil Breen's Angela Lansbury?
Okay, we've talked a lot about Breen specifically. I think we do need to talk about his actors, though.
His balls.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
Carl,
shit.
damn
Because there's a
balls.
couple standout performances that aren't Breen. Specifically, I want to shout out the black woman villain in Pass Through,
Yes.
Yes.
who is screaming at the top of her lungs. Her idea of
I will
acting
kill
is just
you.
being louder.
She is making choices.
Don't shoot. You can't hurt me.
Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing in my house?
This is my universe.
I will kill you.
I will eliminate all of the people like you that have ruined this planet.
You are done.
No, you are done.
I'm done.
Done.
And Breen just crossfades her out of existence.
It's amazing too, because she's right. She is the best actor in that movie. She's going for it.
Yeah, no, she's like committing to being there.
I will kill you.
I will kill you.
And then Neil Breen actually shows some emotion back. He says, "I will obliterate you," or some shit like that, because he's Neil Breen.
No, he's like, "You're done.
I do not need you on my earth," I think is what he says.
It's the fucking Who's Steve Jobs Ligma balls, and he just fucking crossfades her.
Yeah, he just gives her the hand.
Yeah,
like
it's the hand.
Okuyasu just fucking slices her out of existence.
I remember he yelled at her, "It's like, you're done." She's like, "I'm done." He's like, "Yeah, you're done." And then she like disappears.
My planet needs me.
Oh, it's amazing.
And then we also got to shout out the married couple in Fateful Findings.
Oh shit!
Which one?
The not
first
Breen
one that
married
dies or
couple,
the second one that dies?
the blonde woman and
the
her
blonde woman
husband.
and the man.
I can't believe you killed
With the
yourself.
car.
I can't believe you committed suicide.
The greatest. Like,
what about the married couples in Double Down? What'd you think of them?
There were married couples in Double Down?
Oh, the ones he picks up in drugs.
The first two he picks up on accident.
There's two of them. There's the ones that he didn't drug. He did.
He drugged them by accident, thinking they were a different couple.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he pulled like he pulled a hitman blood money and injected the food with a syringe, and all the like liquid just oozed out of the strawberry, and then he dropped it into like a sparkly water, and he's like, "Here's a drink. It's hot outside." And then they pass out, and then he puts the guy in the trunk, and then the woman wakes up, and she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "It's Vegas, baby. We're married."
And then he keeps.
He's like, "I don't know you."
Doesn't he keep the act going for literally 2 minutes?
I got it.
And then just kills her.
Yeah, and then he pulls out his like
No, she runs
Motorola
off.
flip phone and goes, "The package is secure."
Oh god.
Literally right after looking at her and go, "Oh yeah, we got married. You don't remember that?" Answers the phone. Package is secure.
Yeah, and then there's the other married couple, which are in front of like the shotgun wedding building, and they're just making out. And he keeps reusing it. He reuses like the same shot of these people, who I don't know if he like got their permission to film then, or this was like a voyeur weird.
They were just happy to be in a movie.
I don't know, man.
Imagine.
Maybe that was the same thing with the
He
old
was
lady.
filming on the streets of Vegas, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to be in my film for this quick shot?"
No one knew who Neil Breen was yet. He was a young, unproven director. So,
Yeah, Ed
some
Wood.
people were just really excited to be up on the big screen, even if just for a second.
You know what I'm curious of? In Double Down, you see like a shot of him driving down the Las Vegas Strip, and you can see on one of the TVs a fight going on. I wonder if we could find out what that fight was, because it was a boxing match, and we could figure out the date when he filmed this shit.
That's so much effort.
And then
if
you
you
find
wanna
out
do
it
it,
was
I
actually a
will
fight from
applaud you.
2021, and it's like, what?
Dude, what
We cracked
kind of
the code.
fucking bullshit virtues last reward nonsense is that?
Okay, so, like, all of those actors are really good and all of that, and I vibe with all of them. Very talented actors. Very glad they're here. Their performances contribute a lot to the experience, but we would be remiss to ignore, to double back, to pass through, the niece who looks about 10 years older than her aunt.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, they're at least the same age, if not the niece is older.
Oh, the niece is definitely older. I don't even think that's debatable.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a real
Like,
real
no
question.
offense to her by any fucking means, but, like, it's some weird fucking casting.
Hypothetical.
Well, and they're also like, not to be, make assumptions, but also like definitely not of the same ethnicity. Like,
Oh,
even
not at all.
close.
I just thought it was hilarious in that scene because she was explaining, like, "I am your mother's sister," instead of just
Yeah,
saying,
they
"I
did-
am your aunt."
They did the Persona 4 thing.
I'm your mother's sister, and you're my niece.
Why are we running?
We have to keep running. Your mother's my sister. She was murdered. I swear to God I'd take care of you. You're my niece. We have to keep running. Let's go.
I just have a genuine question. If you were in that situation and you were escaping whatever unnamed country you were with your countrymen and women, and you came across fucking Neil Breen in the desert and he was tossing tuna cans out of his fucking bombed out shack, would you take the booth? Yes, no?
No, hell no.
You're a fraud.
No,
that's where you're gonna live.
Die.
Dude, hey y'all, if you saw Leatherface out in the middle of the desert while you were trying to escape as a refugee, would you say hi to him?
Yes.
It's like all those movies that have come out recently, like all the recent horror movies where it's like people that are from America or some other country that are in like middle of Europe. It's like, hey, like The Ritual. They're like, we're hiking. It's like, well, we could cross through this fucking evil looking valley between like Sweden and Norway or whatever the hell the countries were, or we could just take the long way around. It's like you see Neil Breen and that's the same like exact thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to approach this man. He's probably going to stab me with a hepatitis needle.
Are you saying Breen is the like evil deity from The Ritual?
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's what the tuna cans are for. They're like, you know how they put people on the trees in that movie? You bring them tuna cans.
So if I put like 5 tuna cans in a circle and make like a pentagon, that'll summon Breen.
Neil Breen's like the boring version of the surgeon from Human Centipede.
So,
just absolute no sell on that.
No, I cut out.
Oh, it just completely cut out. Yeah, I did too. I cut out.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
I was like, what's going on?
I just like prayed. I was like, I hope someone starts talking and like I don't have to feel weird.
I think we all had
okay.
that
I feel
exact
better.
same
It was just an audio
circumstance.
drop.
But let's just say that
just
Ryan
crashed,
made the worst joke of the night, and we all know
Eat
something.
shit.
That's mean.
okay.
Yeah, I thought my internet went out.
I wouldn't be surprised if mine just absolutely shit itself right now.
The actual part that confuses me, because as we talk about the strength of the different actors that have worked with him, what confuses me the most about Breen movies is that, like, I've been desperate when it comes to getting, like, roles or gigs for something. You know, I used to want to be an actor once. I did a couple model-y things-esque. But what kind of position do you have to be in to willingly go into a shower with Neil Breen while he is butt fucking naked and his like dripping with fake blood, and then have him touch your near naked body?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of moments where it's just like, honey, not for this movie.
It's not worth it.
Not for this.
Really
I do not know how much he's paying you. It's not enough. We will create a GoFundMe for you. Just let us know that you need help.
I just
But that did.
It's like his fucking dick brushes up against that girl's leg and double down. It's like, oh, sweetie, I hope he paid you so good for
shit.
this.
I hope you got extra cheese on your turkey sandwich tonight.
But I will say,
I hope you got
a
extra
second
chalky
can
milk.
of tuna.
Chalky milk.
Remember me by this, Breed says as he drops a fucking tuna can into your shirt.
No, didn't he have like just water and wine glasses that he was pretending was wine?
And
yeah, that.
they fucking spill it and pretend like it stained the fucking bed or whatever, and it's fucking water.
Oh yeah, right.
He also spills their like champagne and twisted pear with his. I can't remember which Breen it was, but they spilled, and it was right next to a fireplace, and the fire like caught up for a second. I was like, holy shit, is he about to burn his fucking house down?
That would have been so good.
I will say though, that shower sex scene, still gives us another amazing shot because of the reveal of it going up. He's just like profusely bleeding as he's like, as you see him standing next to his supposed like wife, girlfriend, whatever, and it's traveling upwards. And then you get
His
the reveal
recovering drug
that he
addict.
still has his fucking surgery mask covering his face like fucking Obito from Naruto.
and he's like hemorrhaging blood. He is
Oh,
dying
yeah,
as
like,
he
that's
stands there.
Dying blood.
That's like a noticeable trend with his movies. Is like a pan up shot of him covered in blood. You have it in the pool and double
It
down.
symbolizes the sacrifice.
help written
Yeah.
in blood on his car.
Is the thematic through line of his films.
It's the first step to him always becoming Messiah.
It started in Double
Oh,
Down when he
that's another-
reincarnated through the fucking flower drinking our 3 style, and then he just became
God
immortal.
fucking damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that old dude
Fuck
gave him
yeah.
a rock.
He's been collecting pieces
And
of
that
power.
rock crystallized into a D6.
He loves magic rocks.
And then that old dude fell and hit his head. The guy just fell on set, and he just put it in the movie. He's like, "Oh, I swear, don't
I
tell
can
anyone.
use
Don't tell
this."
mom."
I'm gonna forget, so I have to address this. Speaking again of the like shot where he's standing with his girl in the first girl in Fateful Findings is my favorite bad editing, and I seem to be the only one who notices this when I watch it with people, or maybe I'm the only one that gets really fucking bothered by it. Is you have a shot of him Neil Breen standing camera left next to his wife who's on the right, and they're making out, and then it goes to their feet for some reason, but for some odd decision the girl's feet are on the left because they're very feminine and have painted toenails, and his feet are on the right, so it just like breaks the 180 rule between shots, so it always looks like when you cut down to his feet that it's just Neil Breen has painted toenails.
Okay, but like, do you think, as much as Neil Breen believes he is a professional, do you think he actually knows what the 180 rule is?
No.
But that's the
He's
astounding
heard
thing
of
is
it.
there's no
He
way
doesn't
he
know what
wasn't
it
sitting
means.
at the editing, like his editing setup, and couldn't see that. Like, I'm genuinely perplexed how someone wouldn't like.
probably
He saw it, but he
did,
didn't think
like,
anyone else would notice unless they were like a genius film expert.
He's anti.
Like, did he not know that you can do like a horizontal flip and just correct that?
He's
Yes,
actually just
exactly.
anti
You found it.
Wood. Like Ed Wood always had the we'll fix it in post joke, but it's like he doesn't fix it in post because it was perfect in post.
How would you feel if it was actually correct and then he intentionally flipped it and made it wrong?
He's a genius.
He's testing you to make sure you're paying
Yeah,
attention.
that's the other thing we need to
Yeah,
discuss
it's like the
really
bird
quick.
squawk in Citizen Kane.
That's the other thing we need to discuss very quick is what do we do? Like, how do we handle it if on the incredibly off chance it turns out that all of this for the past like 15 years has effectively been like a long form Andy Kaufman bit?
Give up. Literally give up. There's no reason to
Applaud
continue
him.
being like
Give him a
entertainers
medal.
or just trying to do anything.
I think it would genuinely be one of the most genius artworks ever.
I will personally pin a new medal to his jean jacket.
No, he had all the medals. He doesn't need any more.
He doesn't need any more.
Well, I'll
not
make
a
a new
jacket,
medal.
it's a
I'll make a
vest.
new one.
You can't make new metal. You're not Fred Durst. I knew that made Ryan laugh.
I was watching Red Letter Media's video about his like 5-film retrospective, which is also like a film
nightmare.
course that he made, and it's like 5 hours long. And they talk about one part that gives us a hint that like maybe he's in on it, because he freeze frames and then he talks about how he tries to have as much motion as he can in his films as he freeze frames and overdubs it.
That's a very great example, and I love that one, but you do not have to like look far at all to find any amount of shit in his movies where it's like, there's no way he thought that was the best way to do this. There's no fucking way anyone could look at this and be like, yep, can't do any better. We nailed it. Put this to fucking print, baby.
I don't know, that image of
I would
him with the
imagine-
green screened in tiger is just mwah.
It's
like,
so
just
beautiful.
no notes. Keep doing your thing,
That
Breen.
Yeah,
fucking...
I don't want him to change at all. I'm quite happy with him doing what he does. I'm just amazed that he's okay with it. But if he's happy, then I will continue to be happy for the rest of my life.
To answer your previous question, I think irony would just die as a concept, and it would just be sincerity all the time.
Yeah, post law literally like cannibalizes itself.
David Foster Wallace would finally win.
Fuck. I don't want him to win.
Parkour Dudes 91 would be upheaval as the greatest character actor ever.
Oh, I want to return to the actors because I don't think we talked enough about the second married couple in Fateful Findings because they deserve some attention.
What about his parents and Double Down?
Fuck.
Are
those his real parents?
I hope so.
Maybe no, his real parents aren't alive.
He's
this dude's like
61. I looked
He's a
it up
vampire.
during
Crypt
this.
keeper.
He's 61 as of this year.
Yeah, there's no way his parents are still alive. They're the Crypt Keepers.
But in Double Down, he was only 46, so there's a good chance.
Okay, whose grave was it that he touched and
Oh yeah,
kissed
no,
in
that I
Double
want to
Down?
know. That's a real fucking question.
You know, it'd be the worst thing if this is like a fucking like late Philip J. Fry situation. That's his brother's grave, and he's making movies because he and his brother loved it. That would be the most tragic nightmare shit ever.
Oh God.
Like that is like fuck your like hot cheese, fuck every other sad story you've ever heard. Man makes movies for his brother and they're the worst things ever. It has to be the worst.
That
irony.
joke idea has humanized Breen more than any of his films.
God damn.
It's had more humanity than any of his films.
Remember,
like
when I was gonna say, remember when that fucking lady's floating face down in the pool and she's so fucking clenched. Trying to think of that. It haunts me.
Oh God, it's so hard to talk about these. Like, apologies if this is completely fucking incoherent to anyone listening. It's just so fucking hard to talk about these movies in any coherent way because they are not coherent.
Oh yeah, it's a complete
Like,
mess. So you're just talking about like essentially our favorite
It's almost
moments.
Dada. It's almost Dada. It would be Dada if it weren't meant to have a point. But it always is meant to have one.
What if like Neil Breen is like Martin Cabello, where he just randomly like all the themes are that he talks about in his movies, like evil government and all the cyber crimes and shit, are just like to bring off BadLad's point of like this is for his dead brother. His dead brother died by the government. It was a cover up, and this is how he's exposing their stories.
Oh my God,
we're cracking the code again.
Oh
No,
shit.
no.
Yeah, Neil Breen at the end of his like 5-hour retrospective that no one sat through, and he's like, "Well, someone just asked me why did my brother just get caught by the military and gunned down?" And then
I just imagine
Maybe-
Neil Breen doing the like cocaina, no flour, and then it's just like now someone just asked why I hate the government. They're military. It's like that, like not even just like that's just what his movies are like, especially like I would say Double Down's most like that, where it's he does something very mundane and randomly protracted, and then it loops back to him committing like the worst like fucking bioterrorism crimes ever.
He goes and changes his clothes in like a bathroom in the middle of the fucking desert in Nevada, and he just leaves anthrax in it on his clothes.
For being like a morally superior arbiter, he also simultaneously is like one of the most destructive forces that mankind has ever interacted with in fucking any of his movies.
He's very pro-murder.
He is
in his
exceedingly pro-murder.
He loves it.
He's very violent tendencies. I mean, did you see how wrecked he was when he destroyed those laptops?
Part of me likes to think if
What about where he was dual wielding his pistols in the force field, and he just got like someone just squirted a ketchup bottle on his face.
Oh fuck!
Remember when he chucked the books at the laptop?
And then he scrawls "Help me" in blood on the side of his car.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He also he hacked into a satellite that would like shoot death rays into people's face if they got inside his fucking shark bear fish cornel circle. Like they just walk in and they start screaming and blood comes out of their eyes and
Which
and they
movie
fall
was that?
over.
I can't remember.
That was Double Down.
That was Double Down.
Oh my God.
That was like in the first 15 minutes. He's like, I've hacked into the military
Oh
satellites.
fuck! I remember that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives him a force field, and anybody who enters his circle just instantly dies because it shoots like microwaves into their brains and they like explode or some shit.
Yeah, their brains just melt.
Yeah, he triggers their nanomachines.
He literally,
Yeah,
they're
he
ID tech soldiers.
Yeah. He
It's a
triggers their
microwave
fox
corridor.
Yeah.
Kojima and Kojima and Breen would have a lot to talk about. Like not even
there
lying.
is genuinely, I am 100% convinced there is an alternate universe out there where Neil Breen and Kojima have like completely swapped places. Like Kojima did not find himself in the right places at
What
the right
does
time.
Neil Breen's Death Stranding look like?
It's called I Am Here Now.
I would love to see a conversation between those two
Oh, I
broadcasted.
so desperately want to see that.
Oh God,
A debate.
make it happen.
Okay, so you know how Kojima's like, you know how Kojima's notoriously like goes over budget. He needs Neil Breen because Neil Breen is the most frugal fucker on the earth. He'll rein him in.
Cancel each other out.
Needs a tempering
Yeah,
force.
fuck Del Toro. Let's bring on Breen as a producer.
He's the fucking Spielberg to his George Lucas. He'll be Kojima's
Neil
new
Breen
Fukushima.
just
Holy
makes
shit.
Police Knots 2 with fucking Kojima and he's the main character.
That is such a cursed thought that it actually did psychic damage to me.
Neil Breen needs to have a talk with Suda51.
The thing about Neil Breen, and like we always make the joke of like tie something from somewhere else to Neil Breen because it works, but it's like his movies are, I like to think that he's so far up his own ass that all of his movies are connected, but I like to think that it's like Legend of Zelda, like the Breen reincarnates and it's just another Breen down the timeline. It's the same guy.
Like I'm 100% convinced that in his own head he's got some kind of continuum, in the same sort of way that Miyazaki did for fucking Zelda, but like, or Miyamoto did for Zelda, but like, is he ever going to do
the
anything
Hyrule
with it?
Historia of the Breenverse? I want that book.
Fucking pass-through is what happens if the hero fails.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
We need a fucking Tony Hawk timeline of
The one
of
that
the
ends at fucking
Breenverse.
Ubineko.
Breen dies. Breen wins.
What movie follows Cade's brother winning?
Oh, fucking Double Down.
Twisted
Pass-through.
Pair is what happens. Twisted Pair is comes after Double Down in the timeline, and it's what happens when the vest becomes sentient and becomes a twin brother to me.
It grows a breed.
Shut the fuck up.
Now, Double Down is what happens when Cade wins, and then Pass Through is if Kale wins.
Fateful Findings is if Cade wins.
But
Cade's the good one, right?
They don't fucking fight in that movie.
They don't.
His evil
That's right.
brother
They don't
doesn't
even
do
fucking fight.
but
That's not
whip
happening
old
until the
men.
sequel.
He does heroin,
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
we're
like
waiting for
beats
the
his wife.
He
sequel.
doesn't do heroin. He does fucking amoxicillin
It's
with
truly
his
the
girlfriend.
Infinity War of the Breenverse.
I feel like Fateful Findings is the Ocarina of Time of the Breen movies.
You're not wrong. That's
Yeah,
the
he
worst
just-
part. You're not even fucking wrong. Double Down is the original Zelda.
He
It's
takes out
kind
some
of hard to follow.
ibuprofen. He's like,
Twisted Pair is probably more like Twilight Princess.
I
what
need to
regard?
die.
In what regard is it like Twilight Princess?
No.
I'm so curious.
No wait, what you call it? Fucking Pass Through's his Twilight Princess because he's got the tiger and that's kind of like Wolf Link.
I don't think this analogy works at fucking all.
We're gonna make it
think-
work. I'm gonna.
I think
Put the
this is
square
the
in
worst
the
part of the
soul.
podcast.
No, I think we nailed it during the Double Down video, where it's much closer to the Drake and Near
Oh god.
timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Pass
That
Through
works
takes place
way better for
10,000
this
years.
analogy.
Neil Breen's a chord. Neil Breen's in an accord.
He is.
Now I'm just imagining, you know, the part at the end of Jack and Guard 3 where like it's just this the giant, just a giant Breen, like several giant Breens
No,
bursting from
wait.
the ground.
That works because fucking what you call it? The 5 petals are just the 5 different Breens from his movies, and then
It's
Zero's just like normal
God.
Breen.
But where does the film course fit in? With
In the
that?
middle, he's Zero.
That's
Oh
Automata.
yeah.
That's where
See,
he
Neil Breen
deconstructs
is just
himself.
one of the grotesqueries from Drakengard 1. He just grew up.
This whole conversation is giving me brainworms, like just terminal brainworms.
It's like the worst part.
Brainworms.
The worst part about like Breen and Guard is the fact that he probably like has. I think Ryan put it best, where it's like Neil Breen functions on the same wavelength of Yoko Taro. They're just on opposite ends of the skill tree.
Yeah, no, it like they give off the same energy and they want to tackle the same heady shit. It's just Neil has no fucking clue what he's doing. He has no idea how to tell any kind of coherent story whatsoever.
And that's why we love him.
Yeah, no, he's delightful. Like
Oh yeah, watching his 5-hour retrospective thing, it's so fucking funny because like as we've said it before, he has so much confidence to the point where he was talking about like special effects, so of course he was talking about the props he makes. And he has the books. He has the books from Fateful Findings, and he reenacts the no more books as he's like throwing them around.
And then he looks into the camera.
And then he gives this like sly look to the camera. And it's like a sitcom when there's like a hacky actor that's like known for their one thing and they do their bit and they're like, see, remember when that thing happened? And it's that same
and it's like cue the
exact
canned
expression
laughter.
Oh my god.
Done
Do you
so
remember this
genuinely.
one?
Like he was so genuine with that.
He was genuinely excited at the idea that people would remember that. And you know what? Fucking good for him. I do
They
remember
will.
that, and I was excited to see him do it.
Do the thing, Neil. Say the line. Say the line. You
Say
couldn't
it.
kill
Neil, say it.
yourself.
Say the line,
Yeah,
Bart.
you can't have committed
I
suicide.
can't believe you committed suicide.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. I would pay a lot of money to see Breen drink coffee just to get hyped.
I'd be really excited to see Neil Breen direct a Broadway play.
Oh my god. It'd
It'd be like the Donkey Kong Magfest fucking music.
Neil Breen does Donkey Kong.
Oh my god, you're right. Holy shit. The stage would fucking fall down.
The only issue is like if he did a play, someone would get hurt on that set. Assuming that nobody has gotten hurt in any of his movies, he does say at the end of Twisted Pair that no animal was hurt in the process of making the
Well, you
movie,
see-
especially those rubber rats.
Touching Neil Breen's balls give you frenzy damage.
Correct.
It gives you insight.
It gives you you touch his balls and gain madman's wisdom. Fuck off.
It's like catching the fucking plague in Pathologic. You like walk through the fucking mist cloud of the plague and it increases your
You
infection
touch
meter.
his ball sack and you just see the amygdala like above your house.
You need his ball sack to make the panacea to cure the sandpest.
You know, maybe that's why we don't hear from these actors. No one's ever heard anything from these actors.
They've
It's
all
because they have
died.
too much insight.
Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah, because that's
I'm
what
convinced they'd like.
that's why there's the markings in blood that's read help me and double
Daniel.
down.
That's the one thing he's really talented at. That's the one really good strength that Neil Breen has as a filmmaker, is he knows how to make a fucking ironclad NDA. Just fucking steel. No one's getting out of it.
Dude, I was gonna say,
absolutely. There's no way it's not like Cannibal Holocaust, where he forced all the actors to not show up in anything for 6 months. There's no way that his NDAs aren't like, you could never talk about being in my movie ever. Because he's absolutely so secretive, especially in his like 5-hour retrospective. He's so proud of his craft that he's like, I will come down from the mountain and show you how to make a movie.
Yeah, like, and that this is part of what makes it feel like this is part of what makes it feel like it has to be a joke, because like it's at this point it's been so many goddamn people who've worked with this man on these fucking feral, unhinged movies, and not a single goddamn person has come forward that I know of.
well, in Pass Through, he like walks that lady into the other place. Like he passes Event Horizon and just goes to a new dimension.
He passes through, yes.
That's real. Like that was shoot. Like he actually did that to all of his actors. That's why you never hear about them. They go to the far plane from Final Fantasy X.
No,
It's like in
the
fucking-
the PNG of all of those bodies in the desert, those were
was
all of
real.
his actors.
Yeah, I was just
It was
saying,
real.
the meat locker. That's just real.
They.
All those people who he crucified.
I just
Just
have
real.
the
He
image
did
of
that.
Neil Breen like
Freaking-
doing Yuna's sending, just like taking him to the next place.
No, it's more like Third Impact, just fucking
my
crucifixes popping up everywhere.
Big face, and it's just a black lady from Pass Through.
I'm going to need to edit the chorus of Come Suser Todd with Neil Breen's face behind it.
It all comes tumbling down.
I'm still really proud of that edit of like the Death Note music to his ending monologue in
Oh,
Fateful
yeah.
Findings, because that worked way too well.
Send that to me so I can put that in right here.
Dude, his fucking shit-eating grin.
Considering that Higurashi is getting a remake, I kept thinking of the scene where evil twin Breen has those politicians in like a torture basement, but it goes to the soundtrack of the original Higurashi no Nakakoroni.
I would support that. I would support that very much. That's getting a remake?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. The anime was dog shit, but the story's so good. I'm so excited.
Oh god, I need to replay that VN, but we're getting off track. We need to focus on the real Breen.
I mean, have we been on track for like the last hour?
This has been very meandering.
This is what peyote is like.
This has been group therapy for survivors
What
of
would you do if
Breen.
Neil
No,
Breen
no, what's
pulled like
the
a deer
opposite?
from Adventure Time, and like he took his hands off like gloves, and he had the fucking Higurashi like meat hands?
This is not therapy. What's the opposite of therapy?
Trauma.
Jail.
This is group trauma.
What?
all
No,
just reliving our
we
trauma.
gave ourselves trauma, and now we're coming together to vent and heal. It's responsible.
Is it?
I'm choosing to believe that.
I feel like I have a hammer wedged in my brain.
No one cares what you think.
Okay, I have to ask. I think that this won't apply to Daniel, but maybe you can describe the experience of watching it when we're doing this. Has it become tradition for anybody rewatching Fateful Findings during the coffee scene when he's trying to drink it while his head's on the ground, while his head's on the table, and he's shaking it like a madman on coke over the laptop, and everybody rises in expectation?
It's the most exciting part of the movie.
It's genuinely one of the few moments of sincerely well-crafted tension.
Yeah, because I've been in like group watches with that, and every time I think maybe I don't want to say I always start it, but I definitely do it. Is the as the coffee's shaking.
It sincerely manages to have like the exact same emotional wavelength as when they're just about to hit the iceberg in the Titanic.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
those
like
scenes are basically the same.
Yeah, just like you. Maybe this time.
Maybe this time it won't happen.
Maybe this time we'll avoid tragedy, but no.
The inevitable
happens.
happens.
And that's what Neil
Because
Breen...
the world doesn't
That
really
is a
like
moment
humans.
of like masterful deception. That is a moment of masterful subverting expectations, because you think he's gonna spill it,
Clear.
and then he doesn't,
Clear.
and then he lifts it back up and spills it.
Clear Jodorowsky influence.
Yeah, eat your heart out, Rain Johnson.
You fucking hack fraud. It's all about Neil Breen.
So when is Neil Breen making his Antichrist?
Oh, soon. Very soon. I mean, was that not Twisted Pair?
No, wait. Are you
No,
saying
wait,
that
that's
Neil
pass-through.
Breen-
No, no,
Neil
it's I
Breen
am
needs to get
here-
his cock crushed with a rock. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Massive balls.
Is he gonna? The next thing I was gonna ask, is he gonna have a dick double
No,
just
it's
like
gonna be
Willem
his real
Dafoe?
big. He's actually gonna smash the fuck out of it.
It's Neil Breen's movies are like Araki with JoJo. It's like Araki exploring his sexuality as the series goes on. It's Neil Breen exploring
Yeah.
his fetishes. With Twisted Pair, it's like, oh hey, I want you to beat this fucking painting over my head, and then we're gonna role play in front of this homeless man. I'm gonna give him some
No, this
money.
was the thing even back in Double Down, because he was edging like the whole time he was driving and eating tuna.
Shut the fuck up.
And he spilled the...
Stop saying Neil Breen is edging. I don't want this image in my fucking
I'm not
head.
a fan.
He's been edging since day one.
I'm always on edge.
Can we just remember the fact that he drops the tuna on his crotch?
God damn it. Before he almost drives the car off the fucking road.
Symbolic. It has some sort of symbolic meaning we're just not getting.
Oh, I want an actual, instead of the like 5 movie retrospective, I would kill for a director's commentary track on all his movies.
Oh, I would... Neil, I am begging you.
Oh.
Like...
Holy
First off,
shit.
if you hear this, I'm sorry I called you a fascist earlier. Secondly, please create a director's cut director's commentary for all of your movies. I will pay $40
I
for
think
each
he's
of them,
right that
I
political
promise.
correctness is what's ruining the world.
Shut the
Just
fuck up,
people
Fox.
calling everyone else fascists.
I fucking hate everything.
I'm going hard into Breenism.
What do you know, you fucking furry?
God damn it.
Breen for president.
I have to make a confession. I've been an agent of Breen since the beginning.
Okay,
No.
if you personally know Neil Breen, can you do me a solid and introduce him to the concept of stands?
Show him the Eminem video.
Because I feel
Wait,
like
is it like film
I
stands
feel like
or
he'd
like
get
JoJo stands?
JoJo stands, because I feel like
Okay.
he'd get a lot of mileage out of that. Although that said, camera stands would be good as well.
Can I
thought you said Stan, so I was like, "Do you want me to show him the Eminem
That
music
too, if
video
you're
and
just
see what
if
he'll
you're just
make
vibing,
after that?
I
is
feel
taken
like
as
you'd probably like
inspiration?"
it.
wait? Neil Breen's The Fanatic. Is that what you're pitching?
Oh, fuck, you beat me to it.
No, but I have my own Breen request. Can you like ask him if you can take a picture of him without his human mask on? I kind of want to see what he looks like.
Yeah, without his rubber glove.
Can you
see
ask him
his
for his
lizard
real
face.
name, like in his native born language?
Can I see his balls? Never mind. I already
His real
have.
balls or his lizard balls?
You can.
I already
They're in
have.
Double Down.
Can I see him again?
You could also, if you look carefully, you can see his peen in the water reflections.
No,
You were really looking,
Breen,
huh?
Breen is like the Metaton in Dogma. It's only testicles. The rest is flat.
He's like a Ken doll down there.
I don't know. We've seen his grundle as a collective group.
He's like Kyle XY. He doesn't
We've
even have a
seen
belly
his
button.
ABC. We've seen the ass ball connector.
His taint.
What the fuck is this episode? What is this podcast
God,
right
the fact
now?
that we've gone for like
Hell.
a fucking hour and 20, hour and 30, and we still have like, we could still go on for fucking ever.
we could go on for another, like, we could probably fill out another 2 hours. We could
like
definitely make another
we've not
episode.
talked about how in the hospital scene in Fateful Findings, he has 3 different tubes
Oxygen
in him.
tanks.
But none of them are connected to anything, so it's implied that he's just getting oxygen put into his skin.
Yeah, no, it's just taped to his wrist with medical tape. There's no
It's
fucking
taped to
needle.
his wrist,
It's
and
just
then
an
the third one's
oxygen pipe.
connecting to his face covering, but it's not going
It's
through it.
over.
Well, obviously Neil Breen is afraid of needles, so he would not have like a prop needle near him. So he just had to tape it to them, tape it to his arm, and hope nobody
and
would
let
notice.
us not forget there's the heart monitor beeping, but the heart monitor is A, not turned on, and B, just a laptop.
It's a laptop.
It's just one of his shitty laptops.
What about,
it gets
like-
worse.
and-
It gets worse.
What about the Blues Brothers and Twisted Pair?
The ones that disappeared.
Yeah, they like fade through the floor like a fucking Death Stranding character and then disappear. They're like the 5 dudes off on the distance during the void out.
Wait, wasn't there another Death Stranding reference in Double Down?
I mean, I was making as many as I could because
When he was on
so
the beach
bored.
and he saw his like Samantha America bridges,
And then he threw
which is just his
anthrax in the
parents.
water.
Yeah, that was when his parents were, and then he kicked her skull and broke it, and then there was like a bag of hair, and then there wasn't a bag of hair,
Amazing.
and that's when he met the old dude with the rock, and it cured her
Oh
cancer.
fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
There's so much.
and he was explaining how spies in real life aren't like spies in movies, and then proceeds to be like that in all of his movies.
That doesn't. No. He's commenting on that.
Like Twisted Pair is, well, obviously, but Twisted Pair is absolutely like what he's making fun of in that movie. Like Neil Breen thought of like, I'm going to make satire about spies, and then how many movies was it later? 4,
Yeah.
3. He's like, no, I'm unironically making that now.
Oh yeah, because Twisted Pair is just MGS fan fiction.
He thought he was too good for it initially.
Yeah. I was gonna say the idea is not like in Double Down. He goes the idea of these aren't what spies are normally like, but then he realized, shit, I'm a spy for a clandestine organization, J.C. Denton style. I need to fucking like run it back. So he runs it back about a decade later with Twisted Pair, because Neil Breen movies are just psyops to get into people's minds so the government can control you, like MK Ultra.
And it's fucking working.
It is. He's living rent free.
Absolutely. That's why
We're
in this
spreading
podcast.
it right now. We're about to
He's
we
to
are
get audited.
actually helping out the CIA at this exact moment.
He's literally like, he is a language virus.
It's fucking the parasites from MGS5.
Exactly.
Oh, that's why all of his actors are quiet.
Oh shit!
Found
He
it.
makes them all show side boob.
Oh shit! This comes back to the
They don't wear
Kojima thing.
bras.
Oh no.
Kojima and Breen have the exact same approach to writing female characters.
That I can't even push back on that. That's actually right.
Who is the boss in the Neil Breen
The black
verse?
lady.
That black lady in Pass Through.
No, evil Neil
Yeah,
Breen.
she believed in a world without nations.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, she believed in a world of one
Actually, wait, no,
nation.
she believed in the exact opposite. She was trying to stop people from crossing the
She
border.
believed in her nation.
No, she didn't care at all about people crossing the border. She just wanted to exploit them.
She just wanted
No,
more
she
pimps.
100%
Was she
did, because she was
Elizabeth
like, I
Strand?
have no use for you in my country, as she like shot that old lady, and then she shot her
I forgot about
grandson,
the
who was
country
clearly
line.
from a different nationality.
Remember that fucking remember in that movie when they like are spreading out the payment to the different like government organizations that are helping out this, like, I can only assume, human trafficking ring, and one of the branches of government is just pimps.
Oh my
mean,
god.
sure.
Are you talking about the scene when they have all the like drugs
Yes.
laid out in front of them and they're
Yes.
passing to each other, as it's like, this is for the pimps, as like person A is passing to person C,
And they get more than
and then
the
person
banks.
C's passing a different pile to person B.
God. The pimps do a lot though.
It's exactly like the Japanese tradition where you can't serve your own drink. You have to have someone else serve it for you. It's exactly that, except drug dealing.
For drug deals or for
Is that how it
Japanese
works?
things?
I don't fucking know. That's just like the best comparison I could think of.
Ah, fuck.
There's so many movies that I just want to be like, I want to see Neil Breen's take on blank.
I want
to
Neil
see
Breen.
Neil Breen's take on Perfect Blue.
I want Neil Breen to make movies forever about everything.
Neil Breen's
I want to see him
Berserk.
try every genre. I cannot tell you how goddamn much I want to see him do a romance movie. I want to see him do a love story.
But all of his movies have been romance.
But I mean like a truly dedicated one. Like that's the meat.
You guys
know?
are all thinking
in the same
too
way like
small
being
to
a
an
spy
extent.
is the meat.
Neil Breen remaking Neil Breen.
Oh, well that's going to be Twisted Pair too.
What if he does it a third
So you
time?
basically want
The
Neil
twistening.
Breen's Final Fantasy remake?
God damn it.
Yeah, no, I want him to like experience boundless creative freedom.
I wonder what a Neil Breen would look like if he had like infinite budget.
Jupiter Ascending.
David Cage.
Shit. Both sound equally accurate.
All right, we should probably wrap this up at this stage. Let's end off on this. What is everyone's favorite overall moment from any of these? In case we missed one.
Cade and Kane going, "Who am I? What am I?"
Who am I? What am I? What did they make me for? That's an Outlaw Star reference that's going to piss off like 5 people really
It pissed
badly.
me off. I'm fucking.
Yeah,
ticked.
there we go. Found,
What am I
found
fighting
one of them.
for?
What am I fighting for? What about you, BadLad? What about you?
Mine's fucking easy because I brought it up like 4 times. It's when he shows balls. Like, come on, it's the best part of any of his movies. It's like if I had to actually say what is one that like he intended to be like a good shot or something, probably the probably like him stalking that girl.
No, who gives a shit about it being a good shot? Like, that's obviously the best shot. That's the best shot he's ever done.
Yeah.
That's not the question, though.
It's like...
Though I still think it's funny because the cameraman was off and they didn't do a retake of it.
God.
You'd absolutely subscribe to his OnlyFans if you
Yeah,
had
no,
one.
I want to explore Neil Breen's films, and I want to explore his grundle. I will pay $5.99 a month to get in there.
Neil Breen tier
Exactly.
3 sub.
Like, I speak for the masses here when I say I am a simp for Neil Breen. I would do anything for that.
Are
man.
you sure you want to have that on the internet?
Yes, 100%.
I'd have that on my government issued ID. How fucking dare you?
You replaced organ donor with Neil Breen sim?
Yes.
If Neil Breen opened up a Patreon,
I would be all over that.
I would be on it.
I think he'd do pretty well for himself.
Oh
if
yeah,
he did that.
I would fund his garbage, like 100%.
I would fund him before I fund Studio Trigger.
At least I know he makes movies.
Fuck. Daniel, what about you? What's your favorite moment from any of these?
If I'm being honest, there was that one scene in Fateful Findings where like he's just like making he's not actually making out with her, I don't remember, but like he's just like throwing up paper and the two of them are like having fun, and it's like the most genuine, like most sincere moment in all of his films that I've seen.
It feels almost sincerely playful.
Like I just liked how they're actually having fun, and they're like the only time,
but it's still completely fucking incomprehensible.
Actually,
but
I
like
wanna
it's the
change
only
mine.
time where he actually feels like a real human being for once. Like,
Cvit? What
I want to change mine to the one in Double Down where he's running down the hill screaming
Shit,
and
yes,
going
that-
like, "I'm an American! Oh, I love my country!" And then he eats some dirt.
Can't go on with this. I can't go on with this. I'm an American. I'm an American. I love this country. Of my country.
The true American experience.
Okay, Jade, what about you?
I think, well, my favorite moment changes constantly.
Of course.
I think for now, my favorite moment, it's either the moment where Fairy alternate universe me shows Double Down on a projector in
fuck.
the movie.
Oh, fuck. I forgot that Double Down
Pear?
was just shown in Twisted Pear.
He was so up
Holy
his own ass
shit.
at that point.
I completely forgot about
Are
that.
you talking about in the film room where they have an ultraviolet poster?
Oh, and there's an ultraviolet poster in the background.
Yeah, he plays
that's
the
like a
scene where
little
he's
gem.
walking through like the field of dead people and passed
It's
through,
a
right?
beautiful gem that
yeah.
no one is gonna notice on their first watch.
It's a beautiful blood-covered gem.
And it's
So
so
I'll make that
clearly
my
green
favorite
screened
moment for
on.
now.
It's not like actually filmed on the TV.
Oh, it's so
like,
obvious. It's truly some channel awesome shit. Fox, what about you?
Before I get to my actual one, I want to give a honorable. There's so many Fateful Findings. Fateful Findings is definitely Breen's best work because it has so many fucking moments that are fucking amazing and just great. I do want to shout out one really quick, and it's when the underage girl tries to seduce Breen.
Oh shit!
And when he's chastising her for trying to, she does a Jim from The Office stare into the camera and looks back at him. But that's not my favorite. My favorite is still, by far, and you guys can say it with me,
I can't believe you committed suicide.
I
cannot believe you committed
suicide.
suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
That is just great. As he's smearing his friend's
It's
blood
so-
on his face like
Yes,
a
just all over
blood
his face.
sacrifice.
You'd think that like he'd get better fake blood, especially if he's like fully committed. Like he wouldn't buy like that cheap Party City brand shit. He'd like buy some like fucking expensive stuff that looks real.
Like that scene is so shitty that like if it had been done by like a 20-year-old college student, it would have been performance art. It would have been like abstracted performance art.
See, I know you talk about the shitty fake blood. What if I broke your whole reality and told you that's not fake? That guy's actually dead.
Talking about this scene reminds me how his like that has to be his actual car because he hacks into it and Double Down with a flip phone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he can afford it. He's an architect.
Yeah.
He's literally, like I've said it before, he is just like the movie version / just White Viper. Just makes insane garbage and just runs a random business on the side and probably also makes crack.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Y'all cowards don't smoke crack.
Cops can't
Produced
read
by
Neil
Neil Breen.
I would love that.
You mean
Neil,
you don't inject
China
the
didn't do
marijuana?
Tiananmen Square. Neil Breen did.
Dude, Neil Breen directing a Viper music video would be like just him green screen on, like interacting with Viper.
Fuck. I want that.
Y'all cowards don't do toilet pills.
I want to see more of those like fucking Viper covers, but like recreated with Neil Breen screenshots.
It's interesting
Instead of Evangelion shots.
Yeah.
because like I think we brought up too, Neil Breen might actually be the most versatile filmmaker because in the fucking great pandemic of 2020, he's probably still making movies on his green screen.
Yeah, no,
He's fine.
there's no reason he couldn't be making movies right now. There's nothing about these that he couldn't be crafting at this exact second.
He's in the editing lab.
His next
You
masterpiece.
think the pandemic is gonna stop him?
Fuck that
Ryan,
coronavirus. It ain't real.
You're the last person to give us your favorite shot, your favorite moment.
What was it? I'm quite glad that no one mentioned this. And it's kind of a broad moment, but it's also still simultaneously just one moment. It's just that it keeps happening repeatedly over the course of like 10 minutes. And that is, of course, the press conference from Fateful Findings.
Ooh, yeah.
Breen note. Dude.
That's
Yeah,
a good
that
one.
moment is top tier.
It's the
Like,
it is
amazing.
the best moment in cinematic history. It is so fucking good. I am shaken every goddamn time I see it. It's like that and the ending of Nier Automata just affect me to my fucking core every time.
Remember when he like hyper snipes that one assassin with his fucking mind?
Remember when the banker kills himself in the bathtub with a bottle of E&J next to him, even though he's a billion-dollar banker who embezzled money?
What
He's
about
buying
the
fucking E&J.
possible banker, possible government official that's sitting in the car, takes a handful of pills smiling, and just lightly rests his head onto his car steering wheel?
Or the fucking woman who
He
turns
knew.
on her
That dude
car
knew.
in the garage and then just kind of takes a nap?
That dude knew he was like in a Neil Breen movie before like it was even a Neil Breen movie, and then Neil Breen saw he laughed, teleported to his house, and executed him. And then it just pulled
Neil
up.
Breen's instant transmission, but instead of popping out of existence, he crossfades.
He fucking pops
Nothing
up the
personal.
whatchamacallit. It's like when he killed that guy. It's just a Sekiro like shinobi execution.
Ah, fuck.
When is Neil Breen gonna go on the Thawed arc?
Dude, Neil Breen takes on the harness of death. Let's go.
Thawed 4.
They will kill him.
Neil Breen puts on the mask of the
I
betrayer.
think nothing encapsulates an experience of watching a Neil Breen film like this fucking picture of Master Roshi that I've been looking at in our fucking Discord call the last hour.
What,
Right?
The one that you posted.
Oh yeah.
Ryan, if you get the chance, digital out the Goku in his sunglasses and just put Neil Breen smiling.
I think I should... no, I know how I can do that. I should be able to do that pretty
Oh
easily.
my god. We can't put the Ed and Eddie with his balls
That
out
will
in
be the
video,
thumbnail.
Can we?
God damn it.
Yeah.
We can't put you like that Google Drive instead.
What was the joke? So we made a joke at some scene where it was like, oh, it's when he was breaking like the laptops with a rock, and we started changing it for like a bonk sound.
Oh, yeah.
And there was some moment where we were
Boing.
telling Ryan that it's like we need to add in like Ed and Eddie like womp funk sound effects into something in like a fight.
That was in
'cause-
Double Down.
It's because we discovered that the appropriate way to watch a Neil Breen movie is have someone on a soundboard, and whenever something happens, just smack it with a random noise. Like whatever it is, monkey screech, go for it.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do a watch through like that where just everyone has a soundboard. It's going to be so much goddamn fun.
It's gonna be galactic fart like every time. There's no reason not to use that.
We'll have to place some rules and limits. You're
What,
only
you're
allowed so many button presses of each type or something.
You're telling me I can't do like hypershit.wave?
We need to be responsible.
I want to be
You
chaotic.
need to be professional.
Yeah, for Breen.
I understand Mr. Pink in whole new ways. Hi. So
Is that a podcast?
I think that's. Are we all burnt out? Are we all
Allegedly a
officially?
podcast.
Has Neo just fucking purged the inside of our souls?
Oh,
feel
I
like
could
I've
talk
been
about
on a
Breen I
journey.
could talk about Breen forever.
Same.
Like no lie.
I could keep bringing up nonsensical nonsense that happens in the movie, but I don't know if anyone wants
We
to
can
listen.
always
that's
do a
the other
second
thing.
one. If y'all who are listening to this enjoyed this, let us know, and we can always do another one like this. There's more Neil Breen movies to talk about. We didn't even touch on I Am Here Now at all. We could just have a full episode dedicated exclusively to that because it's his weakest movie, but a bad Neil Breen movie is still fucking amazing.
Ryan, I have a question.
We're gonna do a matinee of I Am Here Now and To Boldly Flee. That'll be the next one.
That ties in directly to my question, which is, Ryan, when can we see Doug Walker's balls?
No.
No, I don't want to see Doug Walker's balls.
You're gonna see.
Anyways, this has been the Perfect Parry podcast. My name is Ryan.
This is Jade.
I'm Fox.
And everyone else.
I'm Michael.
And the rest.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Alex.
Where can people find y'all? Social media and such.
YouTube.com.
Hell yeah.
Cvit. Or Cvit. I don't care. Just search it up. You'll find it, hopefully.
We'll just put their things in the doobly-doo.
Yeah, we'll put all of the names down there.
I like
God
the
damn it.
idea of asking Alex what his name is, and it's like, oh, fucking Cvit, whatever. But someone asks him, like, how do I find you? It's like, type in, like, Cvit or Cvet,
Type
whatever.
it in with your feet and you'll find it.
What? What's your name? I don't fucking know. Leave me alone.
You tell me.
What do you think it is, asshole?
It's open to interpretation.
Yeah. He's pulling some Odysseus
It's
shit.
just the Prince symbol. Just rename your channel to the Prince symbol.
There's someone who did that. Wasn't there a channel I linked to, Fox? It's like, it just has no name.
That's kind of a flex.
There's a few of those.
Ugh.
But anyway, I think this is like the most meandering ending.
Yeah.
It is. Holy shit. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be back soon. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Later, nerds.
Take me down.